The white light faded to reveal a sterile observation chamber that smelled of antiseptic and ozone. Nora blinked against the sudden brightness, her hands instinctively rising to shield her eyes, only to find them restrained by glowing energy cuffs. "Welcome back, Dr. Carter." The voice came from everywhere and nowhere, smooth and genderless. The walls of the circular chamber shimmered, resolving into massive screens showing real-time footage of Vance and Raj still trapped in the forest. Raj was curled in shock around his frozen stump, while Vance stood protectively over him, his empty rifle now wielded like a club against the advancing harvesters. Nora struggled against her restraints. "Let them go. That depends entirely on you." A section of the wall irised open, revealing a floating chair that reminded Nora of a dentist's nightmare, all gleaming metal and articulated arms tipped with sinister instruments. The most disturbing feature was the perfectly head-shaped indentation in the headrest, lined with neural connectors. "Please assume the recall position." Nora's body moved against her will. Some deep, implanted instinct guided her into the chair. As soon as her head touched the indentation, the connectors snapped into place with a series of sickening clicks. A cold rush flooded her synapses, and the memories came screaming back. 5 years ago. The real Nora Carter standing in this very chamber, watching the first iteration of the medieval village through identical observation screens. Her hands adjusting controls with clinical precision as subjects screamed. Her voice calmly noting, "Increased aggression in test group C, recommend neural recalibration." The Nora in the chair gasped as the flood of implanted memories overwhelmed her. She saw herself, no, the original Dr. Eleanor Carter, designing the experiment parameters. Selecting which aspects of human society to test. Approving the harvest protocols. "You are the 13th iteration of Dr. Carter," the voice explained. "Each simulation requires fresh researcher perspectives. Your memories were edited to ensure authentic reactions." On the screens, a harvester's burning tendril grazed Vance's shoulder. The Marine roared as his flesh blistered instantly. Nora's duplicate heart hammered against her ribs. "Stop the test. I remember now, shut it down. Complete the current analysis cycle and processing will cease." A holographic console materialized before her. The controls felt sickeningly familiar beneath her fingers. Display windows showed every villager's vital signs, the drone's surveillance feeds, even the terrified brainwave patterns of what remained of Test Group A. One screen gave her pause, a live feed of her own pod's black box. The playback showed their arrival from an external camera angle. Nora watched herself step onto the grass, and immediately get vaporized by a hidden turret. The Nora who'd been exploring since was a perfect replica grown in transit. Just like the villagers. Just like all of them. Her hands shook over the controls. The system expected her to coldly analyze the data while Vance burned and Raj sobbed. Instead, she input an override code that surfaced from her restored memories. The entire chamber flashed red. "Warning, researcher protocol breach." Nora bared her teeth in something between a grin and a sob. "Yeah. I know." On the screens, the harvesters froze mid-motion. The forest's artificial sky flickered erratically. And deep below the simulation, something ancient and powerful began to wake up.